the growth of
Actually happy you
mentality.
brought up the Meek thing. The Meek thing is a weird one. I think people bring up because I think people are. I think we all want to push this off as a simple rap battle, and it was right. But we gotta have context of what are being said in all these rap battles. There's just not the
Well,
same level of is damage. I think that's the common denominator in every rap battle. Like Jay-Z take a hit, Meek Mill take a hit. People take hits when they lose. Ja Rule take a hit. You know, like right now they saying Drake taking a hit, right? So like, but what is being said in these battles? Like you know, you told me like you believe the Jay-Z and Nas battle was just as nasty. Like you said somebody actually got like one violated another one's girl. So that's just a different level. So I may give you
uh,
that. But when the people say that Meek Mill, like why you feel bad for Meek Mill, I think that just the songs just don't like songs hold they don't hold the same weight because of what's being said. That's why I said the context of what's being said matters. Because again,
I
it's really
think
about that main
right,
thing that I always say to you. It's just what's being said. I don't think it's about just everybody's picking on them.
right. I think that could be true to an extent, but we just have to look at Drake does the same thing in every battle. So the Meek thing is that Meek downfall is that he just didn't respond in a fashionable manner, and he didn't deliver it in a fashionable manner either. The other two is that he still applied the same thing with Meek. It was Nicki Minaj about your girl tour, your world tour, charged up. Some said I had her, some said I didn't. I guess we'll never know. Um, all right, so Pusha T now. I'm gonna let it rain on you like Virginia Williams. Record drops. The record exposes children. Um, God. What he said there? I'll be with somebody, girls like Whitney. Warning shot back. Friendly fade. I know some shit about niggas that make Gunna
Gonna
Wanna
wanna
look
look
like
like
a
a saint.
saint. Family ties. Again, Whitney.
Family Matters. Yeah.
Response to it. Meet the Grams. Then, yeah, Family Matters. Thank you. Meet the Grams responds, and then the Not Like Us. So it's he's putting out and he's getting a response, but the responses now are becoming more amplified to what he's putting out. And look how he maneuvered because of the situation with T is different. Look at his interview with T is different from his approach to this battle. Doesn't even seem like the same headspace. Because one, when you look at the interview with T, this me now because I nerd out the whole thing. The reason why he didn't respond to the response was that he didn't want to hear him. He got too invested in the situation, and he didn't want to hear all that negative shit that he said countless times. But with this one, before records was even necessary, or yeah, so one record dropped after the verse, like that verse, he eggs it on, he agitates, he aggravates, he claims. Like I told you, the industry has influence, so he's playing the media game. He has influence. Playing the media games, you post something, the credible sources are gonna deem it as truth. What did he say? Let them know. The AI voice come out. Let them know they don't got nothing to drop, but Chubbs tell our little boy to drop, but we know he won't. Now credible sources are posting it. Now it looks like he doesn't have anything to drop. Now it looks like he won't drop because he might have a red button. Now he's dropping Taylor Made. Now it looks like he has writer's block because he's taking too long to respond. Now we already have our opinion solidified. So even if he did drop, he could be in the same situation as me, where if he did drop, he'll fail because he took too long. Because what happens? Journalism's like academics are saying, time. There's a time limit to dropping a response to another diss record, which isn't the precedence of the culture, but now the influences are forcing that on the culture for the sake of a victory, because we know the victory comes with monetary value. So what happens next? He drops, but what he did different from me is that isn't That situation isn't the Meek situation. Whole different competitor and whole different marketing brand that markets from minimalistic maneuvers, mobility. So it fits with his aesthetics more that he responded the way that he responded. And now it's a misstep on our part because we know that we have more of a media influence because we're outside more. But now he's taking advantage of that situation because he's more quiet, and that shock value is overpowering our presence. Like what Denzel said to actors on the media, I think he said that no one is if you're always on the media 24/7, no one's ever gonna pay to see you in a movie theater. So when you're doing the opposite of that, it's like, oh my god, Twitter links, gotta press on it because he's responding. Now the narration is changing from you've seen the complex votes. It was push-ups over Euphoria, but now everybody keep playing it. Now credible sources keep. You got Webster Dictionary. Now they're posting lyrics about it. You got credible sources breaking down lyrics. Now you got credible sources saying that Genius lyrics broke down. Now you got people saying that the store that he mentions on Euphoria sold um, the biggest sell that they ever did in a month on their forecast because of the rap battle. Now it looks like he's doing more to the singing. Now they play narratives on that. Now everything is backpedaling on us because we made a misstep and we tried to take advantage of the situation that we didn't um, calculate
Yeah.
because we thought the battle was more about commercial and critical, but we didn't know how critical his commercial was because he never was outside consecutively, but now he's consecutively outside during that time period. And that shot volume made it louder than what it was because of the negative situation that it is. Could be negative to the outsiders that might look at battle rap negative, but to other people that in the culture it could be looked at as Jedi and Siths, righteous, wicked, conscious music, conscious artwork against the commercial artwork. Still in the realm of commercialism, anyways, but how people view it. So now it's a different fan bases are in it, communities are invested, the general population is invested, as well as the cults are invested. So I think everything plays into it. It's the most complex battle that it has been compared to the whole Nas situation, but it's still the child of that situation. Even though those two individuals are both from the same cloth, these two individuals are not because what they represent off of their
Yeah.
artwork. And I think that's what Cole isn't trying to break down because for the sake of their friendship or whatever thing that they got going on both sides. Yeah. So he's not trying to break down that there's already a history between all these individual branches to that one individual, and
I think
he's not trying to break down that he was actually winning because the other dude was quiet. Same with Meek, he was actually winning, and so what Meek delivered wasn't a great enough offering, and he just became the finalized battle. It's crazy how we look at it because they set up the rules, but the other side called the winner, which is the weirdest thing ever. You know what I mean? They set up the rules. They had everything in stock, but the other side, when all the records was already hit, and it wasn't satisfied with that one record that came out after Not Like Us, then they
they
said
said no
no
more
more
dropping.
records.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's definitely that. I'm gonna address that point. 'Cause I got a point for the other thing you said. Um, I think that comes with the game. Like when you don't keep dropping till you get the most. I think most of the time you want to keep dropping till you want to. Like if you got an impactful ass record, you keep dropping. You keep
and that's a good
like
thing
no
too.
until you have the most impactful record. Because if you're just going blow for blow, you just like who's gonna stop? Now, once you have like probably the most impactful record of the battle, even though you could argue he already had it, but you know what I'm saying. If you want to argue Euphoria, I think it was the best this record in the battle, and I'm talking Team Drake any day. But it's like that was the best song to me. Not like this was the most impactful song in there. So
I think
I
they
see.
even
Think
go
once I
together.
drop that, I don't really need to do nothing else because
Right.
I could actually be fucking up my W more if I don't if I drop something underwhelming for people standards. Because if I go from a bop back to like even though he rapped in the bop, I'm saying if I go back to like my rapidy rap bag, going to 616 bag, I'll go back in that bag. It's people that's not my fan base or not, you know, they want to say quote unquote hip hop fans, right? Are they gonna be satisfied with it, or are they gonna try to just keep that energy only for that record? Oh, I lost it. But my not
Right.
like us was too good for me to even keep dropping. You had to bop yourself in like back into the battle, or you had to rap
Right.
so crazy with something. You would have to come with something so shocking. It was hard to beat a bop, bro. There was no way to come back
Right.
from back to back. It was no way. I think it was he was done. He made a club record. Same way you say with thing. He made a club record during a rap battle. Because
Right. I was gonna
what
say,
if you remember what our man said, you know, Chan said, what did Chan feel how he feel about back to back? What he thought of it as?
I actually don't remember what he said, but I remember that I think at
Because
some point he agreed with me when I said, "You not like us is a bigger record than back to back," and I was just putting that like us
I didn't even know that was the
because
conversation. I thought the conversation was more or less like it was we were debating a song. We was debating not like us because I know I asked him like he said I remember what he said.
oh,
He said he felt like
I
back to
said
back was he didn't feel back to back was that much of a diss
it
track.
it is, but it's a different vocal approach to it. I I said I think all three records that Dot dropped was more worthy of being a better record in the top tens
Then back to
than
back.
what back to back was, just because all of them had different uh atmosphere
The only
to
one
it.
I'll
And
completely argue against you is always gonna be Meet the Grams, and I like Meet the Grams too, but I just don't.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like Meet the Grams is like it's almost like a spin image of what the Dance with the Devil is,
Oh
and then
yeah,
that's a classic record in hip hop.
yeah,
To like hip hop gore. So when you're making like something that's hip rap gore, hip hop gore, and rap battle, that that's a whole different ball game, and it's just like it changes how we look at rap battles now when we have stuff like that. Because it's the same thing as Story of Hadadon, but it's just more darker in the Sonics, and that's the record that changed everything because he dropped when that dropped. He dropped when the Red Button was fresh. That record changed everything. It wasn't Not Like Us that changed everything. The Not Like Us was the
Oh, you saying
yeah,
Meet
you
the
can
Grams
blame
changed
mistake.
everything? Uh,
Yeah, because he dropped with the drop.
yes, yes. And funny thing is, and I'm gonna say this because like I'm always gonna say this because I like when I say this because like I feel like in a deeper world and a deeper meaning of live stream, like me and my mans, we didn't start no rap battle. Don't ever get it twisted. We just like we had our own little thing going on with our group chat, right? Then the fucking world just stopped. Everything hip hop just started going crazy. And then one thing we said to each other, the craziest thing would happen if one drop on the other, like right away. I swear on my life we said that before that shit came out. I would not. I don't like swearing. That's on my life. We said, bro, if they drop on each other, it'll be crazy, nigga. Family Matters dropped, and I don't know if I don't know if you called me, but when you heard Meet the Grand Shop, he called me said they're fighting. Like it was just lit. I thought that was lit. I'm a
Yeah,
fan of shit like that because it felt like either like you had information, like you either had information that he was dropping and what he was dropping, or you just predicted him because of his last couple battles, which is like It's which is like a
It's,
common thing
it's
when
a
it comes to
gamble.
competitive. Yes, it is. It completely is. It's like a competitive thing when like because it's like when you play ball and stuff and you see that exact play that they've done that's worked so many times. It's worked before. It's worked on a Meek Mill. You may not beat Pusha T in some people's eyes, but like it could have still in people's eyes. Depending on who you ask, he didn't Pusha T didn't beat him. You know, and like the same move. He keep doing that little jab step. He keep doing that triple threat
He
and
changed
then
it.
ripping through
He
it. You
Pusha
know,
T changed the Pusha T changed
No, I'm not. I'm not
before
saying.
this
I'm not
battle.
saying he didn't. I'm not saying Drake didn't win it. I'm saying there's gonna people that's gonna see this. Are gonna be like, he didn't lose the
Right.
thing, and I
So
don't got time for that, bro. So I'm just gonna say if you
right.
felt he felt this way, but like he does the same. Like if you feel like he does the same Carmelo jab step, and he just funk fick boom boom. Dot said, "Oh, soon as he do this, he got a counter for this." So
Right.
it's
I
just
was gonna
like
say
as
that.
ball player moves.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Push changed the expectations of what a diss record was, and then Dot changed. Dot played off of that and changed it back to what the previous expectations it was. If that makes sense, in a mainstream level. So back to back was the expectations of it got to hit the clubs, therefore to be the victory. Added on wasn't that, but it was the victory record. Then
Oh,
after that is the other records, but it leads to the victory
I
record
agree with you,
now
but
being
I don't know about the put.
like,
I think. Oh wait, no, I agree with you. I heard it wrong. I thought you were saying like I thought you were saying that Pusha T changed the standard. I think Drake changed the standard first. You need a club record. You get a club record, you easily win a rap battle with having some bars in it. Of course, Drake raps, so it's not act like he doesn't rap. I'm not talking to Cass, but he had a club banger. He changed that you think that's the way to go about rap rappers. Dot changed it back,
yeah.
kinda, because he did have a banger, club banger, but he also raps so much in it.
That too. It's more like an ether, but because of Dot's star power, it becomes a national anthem because he's
Yes,
on that critical
yes.
side, which makes diss records. And this is where I have to disagree with Cole and Hove is that Cole said the universal classic is almost obsolete. Dot kind of made a universal classic with not like this. Hove saying I don't know if there's any good. Two rap battles. It, I understand where he's coming from, but it discourages the rap battle community. But I know he's talking about a response to stan culture, but then we have to divide stan culture from those listeners, whatever category the non-stan culture is, and we have to look at what good the record did. So when you go to war, the sword that you're using to defeat your enemy is gonna do bad.
Mm.
It's gonna do damage. But what good did this sword that
So
impaled
you're
the
saying,
enemy's flesh
so you're saying like
do?
a lot of people definitely from like let's say the other side or like even people that's like agreeing with Cole that like y'all looking at it only in one lens and that's the negatory lens, right? I don't know if even that's a word, but you're not looking at the positive side of the song and the meaning, the
Yeah,
message, because that's always been really important to you because that's what you believe in. And I believe that too, but I'm saying music that always has to have a message in, and that's where you felt
uh,
Die has never failed people at. That he always
that,
keeps his integrity
that's
while
true.
having a message behind stuff. So even like we'll get to the end, like if we want to, but like even the Meet the Grams record, you told me you said he kept it integrity because he didn't disrespect nobody but Aubrey and his father.
I don't think he disrespect anybody on that record. I think it's just I think it's about
Yeah,
those
your
only
son's a
talk on
sick
that.
man. I think niggas like him should die.
I think that's a conversation for those two to have. But if you want to ask my opinion on how like who's worthy and death and who isn't, I think it's safe to say that we're all worthy of death for our transgressions, but we grace covers us from that.
Yeah.
Just like you said, all sin is equal. So the Just because the nigga, one nigga eat raccoon and the nigga that eat pig is criticizing the raccoon, don't
You was
mean
gonna
that eat
say
pig isn't gonna be worthy of
you
death.
think
Nah,
like me,
both of them
Gabe.
niggas is worthy
You
of death.
think like me. I was gonna bring up the situation, but then you just brought it up about just saying that. That shit is funny.
Yeah,
Say you
yeah.
eat raccoon, you eat bacon. That ass though. The nigga
So
was talking to me crazy. Like, what? You eat bacon?
that's what I'm saying. So when you ask someone like me, again, like someone read that lyrics, they might interpret it the wrong way. I mean, they may not interpret it in a way that it could be, oh, okay, like I hear what you're saying now, but that's how I could take that record. Because both of them are womanizing, if you want to look at it in that way. But is that
Mm, yeah.
one is the womanizer that owned his truth and is living through his truth through whatever means that is to be away from the degenerate womanizer that he was and behind the scenes. The one is the womanizer and the norms of of a gray area that a lot of men are into. But just you just gotta read the lines a little better and not read it in a way like it's Law and Order episodes. Um, facts, not facts. See, I think when niggas like, I think niggas that whole thing out of you really have to like nerd the shit down and apply like, all right, us, not like me and you, but like us as in humanity. How can we relate to um these records? So if you have to put yourself in both their shoes against the record. So how would I feel if this record came against me? Let me look at my life. Is this true? Or that many? Is this true? Yeah, that is true. Is this exaggerated? That's exaggerated. Is this a complete lie? This is a complete lie.
so
Vice
so you
versa.
so you like can you kind of just like so like I'm not gonna say a respecting. So you could like, but like you even say respecting like because like in all what I hear, there's no is no regret in Dot at all. From what I hear, he has no regret. He went and wrote that. He doesn't regret one thing he wrote. I'm not saying he's saying everything. Like obviously, like he said it on Whack the Mirrors. I want me to be politically correct. I'ma do what I did. Like I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't care about like I like y'all know what I'm saying and y'all either choose to ignore or y'all don't know what I'm saying. And that's up to y'all. But the people that do know what I'm saying, they know what I'm saying. That if you know what I'm saying.
Right. No, no, I agree with you. And that's the difference between Cole and him is that you gotta look at the school of thought. Is that it's not more about regret, it's more about integrity and substance. So why the fuck you rapping if it's fictional or whatever line you
Do you
said
think that was really
on
like
love?
about both of them right there? That shit is hard if it is, but like, yeah, I mean it's fictional. He said
Why the
they're
fuck
gonna
you
get a
niggas
drop,
rapping?
nigga. Nah. And then
So
and all these that hit hard to me because finding out I'm not sure if it's true or not. Drake has asked for Kendrick on every album of his career, but it is what it is.
I think that's exact. I think it might be exaggerated, but probably on a
Probably
couple
enough of them. I
records.
probably
But
enough of them. I think he asked him.
yeah,
Nigga's a monster.
yeah. I think I think in his eyes, his school of thought, because like every album is there's always a school of thought behind it. Um, you go with the most specific, intricate one, which is most likely Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, is Eckhart Tolle, and what that represents is that um, you gotta be who you are in every space, your true self, and you gotta know how to manifest that in its pure essence, and that's
Yeah.
what you get from him, or that what you may perceive that you get from him on records. The other dude, Cole, you get the Irving Goffman perception of self through through what is it called? Theater management, theater. I forgot the word, but where
I'm gonna do what
yourself
I did. Like
is
what is it called?
you
Theater
you
management, theater. I
project a
forgot the
different
word,
self
but
in every different space. Thus, when you're rapping in the studio, the atmosphere of the studio might exaggerate some tells, and it might even make fabricated ones. and that might be his um representation of what that is, and it
Yeah.
may and that's probably where they might clash at, and that's probably why he could get along with the other dude, um Drake, and why they may not always see eye and eye on certain intricate stuff, if that makes sense. So it's more about integrity and substance. And that's the whole thing about the battle to me. It's not about conscious, unconscious. It's about integrity and substance. Um, because when you before the whole battle, who had the streets, who had the game unlocked, and I think we all forgot, but it was Schmirkio, Baby, Drake, Thugger, Future, and they had the streets on lockdown. I mean, even before when the city was on lockdown, but when the city was on lockdown, they were just coming record after record after record. But the market was getting so saturated with that type of music with no substance, no integrity in the substance that it it does. And we have to acknowledge the influence
Well,
in culture. It does
so
do
you feel
more
like there's a
harm than
shift?
good. They want to yeah, because we damn near forgot. Like, those were the lockdowns. Like, you getting collabs from them niggas, like, religiously. You got the Baby and Drake Yachty feature. You have the Baby Gunna. Like, the niggas had the
Oh,
shit on lockdown.
I
And
definitely think like,
Kid was
is
going.
there
Like,
a
he was
shift?
working on Mr. Run the Big Stepper.
You will know what the shift is because, like I said, I'm just getting into like hip hop, but like, it's interesting
Yeah, just remember who had the collabs, that relationship
because
with them they
even
had going on. They had it on lockdown.
even through all of that, and you saying who had the streets on lockdown, these still the niggas are not. These are not the niggas that are like winning Grammys, and I don't care for Grammys, but I'm just saying these still not the niggas that
Yeah,
win shit like that. So they to me like if they had the streets, they still have the streets. If they had the clubs, they still have the clubs.
that's the
Some
Grammys
of them,
is a different discussion. Grammys doesn't equate to lockdown in the streets, blocking the streets.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Grammys equate to just
So
the
wait, so
shit
where do you
is
think the streets is at? Like you think they shifted to like this like
urban culture,
yeah, that's what I was saying, yeah. So like
cities, Louisiana, New Orleans, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Atlanta, Miami, Houston, Detroit. Like, they gotta have their own regional shit, but then like the mainstream overseer of that hood essence is Young Boy, Baby, Future. Well, back then, Young Boy, Future, Baby, Juice WRLD, Gunna. Then you're gonna have the big three in there as well, but and depending what type of artist you are, and
so
you
what
you, you know who listening. You know who's listening to who on Awake 10 years ago and 10 years after,
of
and it's
course
always gonna be the most authentic nigga that can relate to the broken
this
down
to their
elevators and
situation, yep.
RPT.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's not gonna be, and you know what I mean. So that's the point of them having Kodak on the Instagram on the big steppers that I'm trying to get to these niggas
Yeah.
the best way that I can. And they all three know that. They all know that those, like, the general population, got to keep it considerate them because they get the music going. But those niggas as well is good to have because the streets mean something to the culture. I can't elaborate it, but the streets might arguably be the urban America might be like the heart for hip hop. It's because it came from them. So you need that because
Mm.
if you don't have it, and no disrespect to Doja, but you might be a Jack Harlow, a Doja Cat. You might have niggas look at you in a pop, and even though I don't believe this, in a pop category because you lack that essence of knowing what culture is from an urban standpoint.
Yeah. No, no, that makes sense. So like, who you think out the streets now?
Great question. Everything is kind of
I think
again
everything's
a
like,
battle.
let's just say like everything.
The
You want to say
re
everything's up in the air? I'd rather say
the
that.
Rico changed everything. The battle. It looked like the battle changed everything. It's the Rico. Rico changed everything because ATL was a powerhouse to the streets. That changed everything. The battle
I,
became whatever it became to that situation. So right now you it seems like the music is still there because of the digital presence that connects all of us on a global scale.
yeah,
But regions are still popping to the way they are. So everything is regionally oriented to a certain extent with the respect to the boundaries of the mainstream world where the mainstream people can exist there. So to the Bronx, Cobain,
yeah,
Sexy Boogie,
boogie, yep.
uh, those are the lockdown. There's no more ATL locking
So,
down this.
so you
We
kind of like how like you kind of like the shift. Like, do you like the shift in some way that it just like it's no problem listening to people from ATL. You still gonna listen to people from ATL, but they just don't. Their music don't overtake here like it did at one point. Like the Cash Cobain is getting
right.
played a lot. You know, the A Boogie, you know, he just dropped Before the Artistry, he's getting played. Like, you know, whoever Sexy Red, you know what I'm saying, she from the, you know, so it's like, you know,
Uh,
Ice Spice at some point, no, she still got her little buzz. You know, think she dropped Big Guy, that kind of went viral for her. So it is like, so I think that might be better for music, low key. If I like,
um,
because like,
yes.
I don't know, say better for me. Let me start say that. Like, I just think having like, I think you always should tap into your region, and I'm talking for people that play the music, so the radios and stuff. So like, when radios are overplaying people that's not from this state or from this region, you could kind of understand the frustration that people once had. You know, like, damn, play like, I don't know who had this argument with Ebro, you know, Ebum, but he was just like, you don't like, why you don't play thing music up here, and
We talking
Ebro
about
just
the
kept
video studio?
huh.
Oh, I mean Kevin Durant. You think Kevin Durant or
No, no, no. I think somebody, one of the people was on Ebro, but when he was on Hot 97, this is years ago, and they was telling him it wasn't Lil Uzi, because I'm for sure it's no way it was Lil Uzi. Lil Uzi not from here.
no? You sure it was a Kevin Durant or the rapper I showed you that I don't even know?
It was a rapper, but I don't know who it was.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. He was talking about why
Cause
won't you put new artists on?
yes, and Ebro, I didn't like Ebro's kind of like comment on that, because he was just like, you got to go make your name first. It's a I agree with that to a certain degree, because like, if you made a name in your region, you should be played in your radios. To me, now, I'm not saying
Uh,
give everybody a chance in the region, because then I gotta fight for all my dogs. Like, I gotta fight for the Reezies. I gotta fight for the Quans. You know, the ones that make music. But they gotta make a mark first for me to fight for you.
uh,
And you know, I believe
right,
completely in them, and I think they're talented.
right,
I can't just say put you on radio like that.
right. No,
So
I agree
like,
100%.
like saying go sell out a stadium, not stadium. He says go sell out an arena. I think that's OD, because not everybody can sell out arenas. Now, if you're
No,
saying
especially
like,
not in the
yeah, so like, now definitely there's no way he said stadium. So I know he said arenas. Like, you gotta tell him to go sell out the other ones, the ones that are smaller, like the venues, the other smaller venues. Yeah, then I'll be like, I agree with you. Nigga said arenas, gang.
No, I think you
So
trip.
I think, and I'm not mad at other artists getting played. I'm not that type of person. Like, I think good music should be played everywhere, right? But I do think, we definitely, I like a region thing. I like a region thing. Then it makes people go out their way to kind of go find these other artists from different regions. So it kind of helps the
Um,
game low key.
um, I agree. I was gonna say that I think all of it is needed. Um, I think all of it is needed, but what would be the but? even though there's some pros and cons to everything to that shit. I think, and I think that was the purpose for what GNX was, to stray away from straying away to stray I can't speak to straying away from mainstream artists, straying away from the regional sound, and that's what made those three individuals different, because they didn't sound like their region because they strayed away from it. And now
Yeah,
it shows you that mainstream artists can go back to his core, or to his core origins of what his region is currently in, or what they evolved into.
yes,
Um,
exactly.
what other stuff is, it just depends. It's a lot of factors. So, like, the reason why New York at one point was taking so much importing, it's importing, exporting, yeah, importing so much, I don't want to call it foreign music, but let's call it foreign regional music, is because of Ebro and different head directors for the radio stations that was gravitating to that methodology at the time. We might be in a time period where it might be the opposite now, where whoever is the top dog and make the imports and the exports of records might be, playing more East Coast oriented on New York stuff, and not to change the listening to radios. Even though I don't really think radio is not the same how it used to be, but it could do some influence. But I think everything's cool right now. It seems calm because I don't know. It seems calm because back then it was coming off the pandemic low key while being in the pandemic. So the record's gonna hit harder, and the record's gonna sound like you want people outside, and the people that want to be outside are gonna sound like they want to be outside. So like everything's already aligning with the revolution of whatever that time period was, and now we're in a whole different uh, time period where um, I believe that the regional areas have export import to each other, but not by a powerhouse anymore, because that Rico really destroyed the powerhouse, because those key players was the monikers of that powerhouse until that Rico did his thing, and now we're just
Rico wiped every motherfucker out. Sound like a tsunami, nigga.
yeah, nah, no joke. From Future, because even because they didn't get convicted, but it's just that the Rico took so much time away from took time away from them entering the market, because they were so focused on the case, that when they came back to the market and they already did their maneuvers and court stuff, it changed how they were perceived, and how, yeah, it just changed how they perceived, and the market was already different because the battle changed the market, or the atmosphere of the market, where they may not be appreciated in the same light that they was before that battle, because who's the moniker of, because of what that administration of the victory of that battle represents,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So like, Thug he never snitched or whatever, but is that he been away so long, now when he came back, can't make a Tupac moment. You know what I mean? That's like once in a blue moons. I mean, Dirk, when he comes back, the market not gonna be the same for him. And yeah, you know what I mean? So it's unfortunate, but they still gonna have a fan base, but it's not gonna feel the same how it probably once did around that time period, because it was only meant for that time period. But
Yeah.
we can still pop up to these shows, and they'll probably still feel the same way in their space and their time of performance. Um, but who got the streets? No, that's good. Damn, it's hard because like everything is so fucking media influenced now. Like it's hard to say. Like I look at the kids, and they on like several different apps, and several different apps plays several different artists, and to them they might think just because I
Yeah.
heard this
TikTok might have
artist.
the streets, nigga.
they
Nah, bro. So
definitely did.
somebody told me the other day, like she was like, She told me to play this song. I put this song on. He said she never heard the song. She only heard the TikTok thing part. So she never heard the whole song.
uh,
I was like, she said this don't sound as good now. I was like, damn.
tripping. That's what happened to Steve Lacy. Is that when he got big off that? Because there's something called like the TikTok changed the definition of what a single a hit is, because now people can only go to your show only for that one song, and they may not know the other songs. So your performance and call out and
Oh,
response is
that's why I
all
think
over the place.
with that point, I think it's that's why I think it's very important to like let's say have a catalog of not just have a catalog, but have a catalog of music that people know and want to see. So when they go to your shows, they're not just looking for one song and they not quiet the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So that's the important part
right.
of like, if you are gonna be that type of artist to want to just be the go viral, you gotta go viral a couple times. Like Zeddy, I think that's his name. Yeah, he doing really good, right? But and now people know enough of like a lot of his songs, right? At least like they knows at least five to six.
Yeah.
Come on, play them songs 5 times in the spot, you can leave. Like, but like they know a lot of his songs now, so he didn't just go viral with one. He can just go viral with two. So it just if you're gonna make a catalog, like if you're gonna have thing, you can't just go viral with one song.
I agree. I think also when it comes to like your brand and who you want to be your consumer, you have to make them your consumer. So it can't just be general population. It has to be people that want to really see you. Um, so you have to go about it differently now compared to what it was with the big three and the people that coexist with them. Is that they was in the presence of the fan bases. It wasn't it wasn't a medium of I'm not sure my phone saying that. Yeah, it wasn't a medium of no media. You go to the concerts, you go to the college, you go to the parties, you go to the radio, you get outside, you hand out tapes, you go to the mall, you hand out tapes, you print, you do that, you making physical encounters to get the people to convert to your brand.
Yeah.
And now it's different now because you have something in the middle, which is the media, and it's very high taking. It's very expedited. It's very um the hyperspace is very fast. It's like a microwave, so everything comes and goes really fast. So what you have to do is you have to figure out how to get around the medium, because the media displays the perception of how you appear. So you can have a great following,
Mm.
but your immediate perception could be low, where no one, I don't know who that nigga is. So how is he big? But you are big to people that know you. But you could be big in the media platform, but not be able to move numbers because you didn't do the right steps in order to gravitate the trust of the consumer
To
to,
purchase a ticket, to purchase
yeah,
even an
to
album,
see.
like yeah.
Yeah, so you have to you have to do, when you're underground, you have to do little media, and it's so hypocritical. You have to do little media and do more of what they did in the traditional sense of meeting people, doing this, performing over there, doing that. You still have to do the media. You still have to do what you have to do, but you have to let those platforms do the work that you're trying to do off of your own brand, because you can't post 17. You can, but you can't really post. You shouldn't really want to post 17 uh, stories of you performing here and there and all this stuff and freestyle over there. You should let those platforms do it. Until like, I don't know, it's hard because it's not easy. It's easier said than done, but you kind of got to figure out your own
Nah, it makes
formula to
sense.
what fits that brand. But you definitely got to like
It makes
figure out how
sense.
to get
Because it kind of
platforms to work for you.
it's kind of like that, and like it's kind of like that in like the I want to say the streaming world. If because like I told you, it's a difference between. I told you this a couple months ago, or when I went viral, right? Or my video went viral. So a difference between your video going viral and yourself going viral.
Right.
So like my video went viral, and I explained that to you. You know, I'm appreciative of it. Two videos went viral at this point, you know, but that got nothing to do with me. Nobody's looking for me. They
Right.
like the conversation. I'm not mad at it. I started something in terms of the second one. I made a conversation of like you know, it went viral, but you didn't go viral. The situation went viral, and a lot of that sometimes always do with you not posting you. I told you the way I told you I know I went viral is when other people post me and say the fellow streamer had this to say. They're always getting 1 million views. Now they're talking about me, not about the situation. Because now that who this? There's more questions now on it. Sometimes when you do it yourself, it's tougher. So you want to let the social media do what they do. You do gotta do stuff for yourself too, but you also do gotta let people do what you do. That makes sense. Yep.
No, yeah, I definitely agree with you.
Uh,
Definitely agree with you. You know, it's tricky though. It's hard. Just because that middleman is stronger than you. And overshadows you. But you just gotta know how to accept whatever you kind of make gradually and build. So it's very tricky, especially with the new definition of what a superstar is now.
yeah.
Um, Everything's changing, but again, everything's gonna change. So it might go back to what it was, or it might go back to new foundation. Um, so it's definitely tricky.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's very hard. Not everything applies. Not everything works. There's not a one set formula that works for everybody. So it's like you could say like Kendrick posts less, but he did post more. Something that he did on a regional. I mean, he's still into it was national, not international. So what national, international, but Drake, he did the same thing, regional. You got to start off small. You got to start with your city, but we're in a time period where your city may not rock with you, and you might have to leave your city, or you might have to figure out how to get that product to another city, so that city to see what city misses you more. Because now we have like algorithm trackers on what region is fucking with you more, and what region is not fucking with you
Yeah.
more. Like Jay Electronica, he's from New Orleans, but he left New Orleans so he could go to to the poppin' city, so he could go to Detroit, so he can collab with Dylan.
But he
Go
actually
to New York.
left the city.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to do that. I mean, it's like the group of white girls that wanted to be actresses back in the '60s. They would leave, they leave small town and go to Hollywood so they could be big time actresses. And that's where you get your casting couch. Fucked up terminology, but that's where you get your casting couch. Here. If you really wanted it that bad and you didn't have the skill, or your beauty overshadowed your skill, sometimes they did sacrifice their integrity to sleep to get leverage, to build leverage in order to get whatever momentum popping, what from whatever direction they have spaced at the time. So the same thing kind of applies without the sexual involvement. Probably still for women though, because I think we always forget that woman artists, female artists, is that casting couch still might, in a metaphorical sense, still might apply to them. Where they might be looking for management, but there's no management in the city, so then there may not be no best trusting management in the city, so they have to leave their whole state, go to another city that they don't even know, build a relationship with people they don't even know, and they may not even be in their best interest in that relationship. Um, and ends up to learn the hard way until 10 years later, where they start um, buzzing up, and now it looks like they buy it. But there's no one ever seen that thing's working hard 10 years prior to make it to where they now got that little bit of buzz coming in. So,
Yeah, I agree. Golly. Yeah, I think. I mean, music good right now, so I don't really care who got the streets. Music is good right now.
yeah,
Mu-
um,
Music is really good right
I
now.
definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. Um,
Like I said,
Music
my
is always
first
gonna be
week
there.
listening to Let Go, God Sold Them Out a couple times. Good album. You know, I couldn't listen.
Yeah, the
I
music.
couldn't listen to it when it first came out because they couldn't get my streams. You know, I wasn't letting their first week sales get better with my streams. So
It's
you know,
stupid.
these week sales don't matter no more. It's been, you know, it's already over. But
It's
now,
stupid.
nah, that's not trolling. Yeah, good music, bro. It's been good music for a minute.
It's funny 'cause- yeah, I'll say it's funny because T is the opposite type of artist. His moments are more gradual, like, later, like similar like Dochi later. Yeah, music is good. Everybody's dropping good quality music. I think
Oh yeah,
I think
Kanye drops. You listen to
I
it?
listened to some of it. I didn't finish it yet though, but I listened to some of it. I like it. It's cool.
Dang, I haven't heard an album you ever said Kanye albums. You never say an album bad.
Oh, cause he done a lot. So like, I mean, whatever, it's a lot of energy that he gives to those albums that I regard as classics.
Yeah,
So and like whatever offering he got now after those years, because they all require different living experiences. It's cool. Can't really get the same thing. It's now the only thing that's different is that how I kind of market it differently, so it can feel differently, but it may not sonically feel differently compared to the other albums. Because I was coming from a different, hungrier era and experience. So it was cool. No, it just sounded like ODA, but I'm not really into Drake, Dot, Ye, nobody. I'm always into what's that new sound? What's the new grind pattern? What's the new like I'm older, so I can never really agree with niggas that they into like they like old Drake more.
yeah.
That like whatever Drake ever dropped
Um,
recently is always just
I think I'm
one of
fine with saying
the
you like old Drake more. I'm fine. I don't like the thing when people want him to go back. I hate backwards. You know, backwards is
shit.
just what are we like?
But
What are we going
it
backwards for?
wasn't
We're supposed to progress in life. You know,
yeah,
maybe
man.
yeah, I felt like backwards was better, but like the only way to get better is by trying different. So when you're getting like Drake doing the sexy drill, somewhat the tapping into some of the different type of music, that maybe that's not how he started, but that's the artist he seems to have always been. He's experimental in terms of his music, even if we don't like the
Right.
songs. So I'm not like a Spanish person, so I don't care to listen to any Spanish songs he's made. I didn't. That's the only song I skip on the Some Sexy Songs album. Is I don't even know the song name now, so it's over.
Meet your padre.
Yeah, Puta Madre,
I
whatever,
want to meet your
whatever.
padre. No, I agree 100%. I just think I think it's more just caught up to the nostalgic feeling of what it once was and what music sounded like back then. Just because that was a different revolution that time period as well. But I like what I see, what I hear, what I pray for was always like inspiration and, and evolution and just the art and craft of things. So like Drake, um, mixtape era and So Far Gone. Not sure if that's considered a mixtape as well. I don't think so. So Far Gone and all those earlier works, they very cool and influential as well. Um, but I like the I don't say I like the bar. I like every offering that you had to offer, but there was always the more. I think the records that stuck with me more was it's different categories, but the ones that are always like I had like because I used to read the lyrics is this his wordplay. Like one of the categories that always stuck with me are how he makes something sound really um clever and good because he's evolving into as a wordsmith. So like that shit, I don't know that shit always that that was what I was looking forward to, and it's just the different sonics and how his music now sounds like it's what it was. He plays mosh pits now than what he did back then. So that's that's the energy that I'm fucking with too,
Yeah.
to an extent. What's also music that resonates in my life. So I may have to go to another artist for that. Uh, but those deep cut records are really good too. The R&B records, all that's good. The records where he's rapping, but in a melodic format, that's good too. Yeah, man.
Well, yeah, I can get into the Bully album. Yep. Yeah.
I'm sorry, one moment.
No, you good. Uh. Good ass conversation. You know what I'm saying? The fuck. Boom. That's a throw 56.